The California Democratic Party is now holding its state convention in San Diego this weekend, with redistricting and the new top two primary system for selecting winning candidates. The upcoming election season should provide some interesting outcomes. Democratic Party Chairman John Burton, a former congressman and state legislator, spoke with Belva Davis earlier this week.
2012 is a different year for party chair. There have been so many rules, laws, lawsuits changed. Let's start with where we vote, and that is the long battle over the district lines.
The new districts favor the Democrats. It was done by an independent commission that Democrats were against and Republicans were for, but largely because I think of the demographic change with more Democrats being registered, more independents, and less Republicans being registered, that there are more districts, new districts that Democrats could win. So it's an interesting concept, and that makes it harder for us to focus because there are more districts to focus on, but it's also it's a lot better chances to pick up enough votes to have 2/3 in the Assembly and Senate to help Governor Brown, some members of Congress, anywhere from 2, 3 to 4, to help Nancy Pelosi get the majority of the House back, and so she could be Speaker again, which would be not only good for California, but good for the country.
Now, usually when there's a voter increase, it's the party chair that has engineered something to get those new party members. Has that been a goal of yours?
What we do is we sign people up to be permanent absentee voters, and statistics show that an absentee voter is probably 45–50% more likely to vote than somebody that has to go to the poll. And also it gives us 30 days to get the vote out, because we know who gets an absentee ballot. We're able to contact them all the way up to Election Day to make sure they mail the ballot in. And that's beneficial to us. So we've been working on that. But also, in a presidential year, people just tend to register because there's more interest. In this year, Republicans had a very low registration. Democrats had a pretty good one, but the biggest group were declined the states, independents, who I think weren't crazy about either party, but they were clearly, I think, less crazy about the Republicans after seeing, almost not 6 months, but a lot of Republican presidential debates where both on the issues they seemed a little off, but the way they were just, attacking each other viciously.
And now we have this, the two top vote getters are
top two primary.
Yeah, top two in the primary.
Well, what happens, there'd be a Democrat, a Republican, a Green, and a Libertarian, and members of those parties would vote within the party to who they want to represent them. And now anybody could vote for anybody, but when it's all over, only the top two vote getters will be on the ballot. The Green Party will never see itself on a general election ballot, in my opinion, nor will the Libertarians, and I think that's wrong. And then also what you have is, if you have two Republicans who are the biggest vote getters, basically Democrats will determine who the Republican is to represent the Republican Party, in the same as far as Republicans determining who the Democrat is.
The Latino population has grown tremendously over the last 10 years, from about 11 million to about 14 million. I think it's like a 37% increase in the population.
Yeah, we've seen the change in the state. More Latinos, more Asian Americans, more women, more gays and lesbians, less African Americans. Mm-hmm. African Americans are used to be four in the state assembly, 2 in the Senate. Now I think there's maybe one in the Senate, I think, and maybe 2 or something. And I was at an event for Barbara Lee, and she's the only African American, north of East LA.
You're about to hold your state convention. Who's going to be there, and what are they going to be fighting or agreeing about?
We're going to have Governor Brown, of course, who will probably pitch his tax program to save the schools and public safety. We'll have Senator Feinstein, excuse me. We'll have all the elected, Secretary of State Bowen, we'll have all the elected officials who will just be up giving the rah-rah on the importance of, clearly the importance of seeing President Obama win, although I think it's clear he'll carry our state, but the better the president does, the better the rest of the ticket does.
Democratic Party seems to be in a difficult position with the governor dedicated to getting a tax measure passed that would provide money for education. Now there are two announced competing measures going to gather signatures.
So we really have to look and see what they are, see if they qualify for the ballot. Then we have to, then we make a decision. You know, could the party support all three of them? I don't know. If you have three in the ballot, does that hurt the governors? I don't know. I believe everybody rational thinks we need more money for the state.
On to San Diego and 2012. I want to thank you very much for being here, John Burton.
Always a pleasure.